Welcome to Tea with Lilybet. If you've been watching this channel for a while, you'll know that around 18 months ago, I started my decluttering journey. And about 9 months after that, I moved into this apartment. Well, it has been quite the journey. It's been physically challenging, it's been emotional. There have been so many decisions to make. Over the past few weeks, it's been lovely to not have as much to do. And it's also given me an opportunity to sit and reflect on what I've learned through this whole process. And today I want to share some of that wisdom. Hopefully the mistakes that I've made and the things that I've learned are going to help you to get through it a little bit more easily and even find some enjoyment in the process. You know, often when you hear about people decluttering their lives, they talk about the negative side of it. It can be quite a positive thing. And I found that coming out the other side of it has given me a lot more joy and peace in my life. So if you are going through this decluttering process, the first thing I would do is write a big list of everything you think you will need to get rid of. And that could become your master list that you refer back to. It might not end up having everything that you let go on that list, and there may be some things that you end up keeping, but it can guide you and it can help you to prioritize what things you need to let go of first, especially some of the larger things. Make a note of anything on that list that makes your heart squeeze a little bit, because you'll need to come back to those. So my next tip is to give treasured items to people you love. Is there someone in your life you think would really benefit from having some of your things? If you're able to pass it on to people who you love and you care about, you'll have the joy of helping them, and also maybe even the added benefit of being able to go and visit your things from time to time. But I would caution you to make sure that they really do want those things. You don't want to hoist your things on loved ones and it become a burden to them. You might also want to have a conversation with them about what they should do with the item if they decide not to keep it. Should they give it back to you, or should they sell it, or maybe you don't even care, but it's just something to think about and communicate with them clearly about. My beautiful maidenhair fern has lasted a lot longer than I thought it was going to. Look at these new little shoots here. See those? Few in there actually. There's a beautiful one down there. It has got a little bit of sunburn. The sun actually comes all the way in the autumn and winter months. Once summer comes, I believe it will be completely shaded. But I'm going to pull a few of these dark ones out. This one is quite done for. There it is there. And then there's this beautiful Pacific fern. I actually had this indoors for a while, and then I moved it to this little protected corner, and it's just thrived. There's a little baby there. So happy and healthy, this plant. And it's just got this beautiful clumping style. And yeah, I just think it's a really pretty plant. And then there's my beautiful grass tree, and something's happened to this guy. He actually grew a beautiful spike flower, and it's part of their reproduction process. But unfortunately, I came out today and the spike had drooped. So I've called an Australian native nursery and talked to them about it. I'm not exactly sure what's happening with it, but they've said to give it a few days. But the plant itself is doing really well. I don't know if you can see all that new growth in there, the little baby leaves that are coming out. So even if the flower doesn't come back, it's still a very healthy plant. That wasn't the end of the story with the flower spike, so stay tuned for later on in the video when I give you an update on what happened next. My next tip is to try and sell items that are of value. Most of you will know that there are different ways that you can sell. You can sell things online, you can do an in-person sort of garage sale, or you can approach an auction house for some really high-end things. So have a think about whether you want a quick and easy sale or whether you want the best price when considering how you're going to sell it. And also be careful of personal safety. One thing I decided was I would never have a stranger in my home. I always had someone there, or I dragged the item out to the street and do the transaction in broad daylight. I decided to just do cash only and first come, first serve kind of sales. I didn't have to deal with payment scams and time wasters. Make sure the item is in really good condition and be honest about any flaws and damage. Take some really good pictures and be prepared to negotiate if there is something wrong with the item or you just need to get rid of it really quickly. Getting some money back for some items that I was really reluctant to let go of helped me because it meant that I could spend it on things that I wanted for my new place. And yeah, it did really comfort me to do that. So I've added some new things to my dishware collection that I wanted to show you. I acquired all of these after I did that video about decluttering my old dishware. Most of the things that I got are for serving, but I did also get some tea things as well. So the first thing to show you is this beautiful plate that's part of the Iittala Taika collection with the magical fox on it and dark blue background. And I have been using this quite a lot. I use it sometimes for breakfast, but also as a serving dish for when guests come over. And then I got two of these teacups, which I've really been enjoying. They've got the dark background. It's got this beautiful owl on the saucer. It's actually quite good for little snacks like chocolate and little things like that. And it has a white center. I like to have my coffee in the white Iittala mugs. So this is mainly for tea. And this one holds about, I think, 300 mils. So that's been lovely. And then adding to the tea things, I got another one of these London Pottery Farmhouse teapots. It's exactly the same as the yellow teapot that I have. Here it is here. This is my old yellow one, which I've really enjoyed, but I'm decluttering a lot of the yellow out of my kitchen. So I did try another teapot. The lid wouldn't close properly and it broke when I tried to press it in. So I ended up just going back to the old faithful London Pottery teapot. This teapot has a few nice features that make it perfect for me. One is that it's 600 mils, so I can use it for myself to have a couple of cups of tea, but it's also okay for visitors. 1 liter is a little bit too big for me. It's got this great infuser, so I can actually just take that out and wash it separately or even use it without the infuser if I'm using tea bags. So that makes it really easy to use. It doesn't drip a lot. There's just maybe a tiny little drip, and it's just a really nicely made piece. So I probably should have just bought this one in the first place, but I wasn't sure that it was going to match the Iittala color. It looks fine with the Taika because that's the blue. It's slightly darker than the Iittala mugs, but it's a beautiful cream color and I think I can live with it. And then I got a sugar bowl, like I said I was going to get. And this one is actually from Villeroy and Boch. And the artisan range is very similar to the Iittala Rami. It has a little rim on it, and it's a similar porcelain color, beautifully made in Germany. And this one, I just keep my coconut sugar in there. I don't use a lot of sugar, but I like to have this here, and it's nice for guests as well. It's got a little cork lid, and it's just a really cute item. I think it goes really nicely with everything else. And then I've got these two little, like, condiment bowls. I can use them for olives and little bits of dip and things like that, but I mainly like to use them to put my tea bags in when I'm having my tea. And they're also from the Villeroy and Boch Artisan Collection. Just move these out of the way so you can see a little bit better. And then moving on to the serving ware, I got the Villeroy and Boch Artisan Pickle Plate. And this is a really cute size. It's great for putting little desserts on it. I've also put crudities and crackers and cheese on here. So that's been really nice. And let's just move this one out of the way. I was tossing up about whether to get a milk jug, and I decided to get the Iittala Tima milk jug. Tima is like their basic range that most people buy when they get a dinnerware set. They'll get the Tima set. So I decided to get this beautiful little milk jug. It holds 200 mils, and it's got a little wood lid with a rubber seal, and it's just super cute. So I have the red jug as well, but often when I have people over, I have soy milk and they have regular milk. So I wanted to have two little jugs. And then I decided to get this, which is absolutely gorgeous. The Rami platter. I looked at the Villeroy and Boch Artisan platters, and they were just too big, or I just couldn't get a hold of one. And then I had to get this from a Finnish store online. I think it's about 35 centimeters long. Got a few little smudges there. I haven't used it yet, as you can see. It's a beautiful oval shape with the Rami rim on it, which does catch the light. I could use this for a mini roast and some vegetables, or with dips and cheeses and that sort of thing. So yeah, it's quite a versatile platter, and I'm really happy with that one. And then there's one other thing that I got, which is a salad bowl. So this one isn't part of the other collections that I have from Iittala. It's actually a little bit different. I've seen this one in person already, but I needed to buy it online to get the best price. David Jones had a 20% off. This is it here. And this one is the only one that I've seen that actually has a permanent little Iittala symbol in there. It's white inside. I think a 2-liter size. And I'm mainly going to use this for salads and serving, especially when I do my big summer salads. This is one of the original Iittala designs with this sort of multicolored bright striped pattern. And I could have gotten a whole dinner set with this, but I just felt like it was too much color. I think this is part of the Origo range. It does have the same colors that are in the Taika. So I feel like it's going to be okay. It'll look really good with the Rami creamy porcelain as well. And it's got that same porcelain color inside. So those are all the new things, the tea things. And serving ware. My next tip is to take some photos and videos of your items. I'm very fortunate because I've documented my whole decluttering journey on my YouTube channel, and I can go back and look at the items that I've decluttered whenever I want to. It's really easy to get nostalgic about things that you've let go, and going back and looking at videos and photos will remind you of why you decided that item wasn't suitable to take with you to your new place or to keep in your current place. It's a bit of a reality check to look at the photos and videos. When you're doing the filming, try and do it in really good natural light and take the angles of the item that you love the most. If it's a piece of furniture that has beautiful wood grains, take close-ups of that, or maybe it's a sofa with really nice upholstery. Just get in there and make sure you capture what you loved best about that item. My next tip is to take a leaf out of Marie Kondo's book and express gratitude. I did this with most of the items that I let go. I took a moment to think about how much I've enjoyed the item, where I was at in my life when I got it, to remember the story around that item and why I loved it. So I think it's a really special thing to do, and it's a way of getting some closure as well as you let it go. But what do you do if you've done all of those steps and you still can't let go of an item? Well, I have some advice for you there too. When I was going through my own decluttering journey, there were some items that really tripped me up. And every time I go to try and declutter it, I would just feel this surge of emotions and stress about those particular items. And feeling that emotion really blocked me from moving forward. There's a reason that those emotions are there, and you do need to pay attention to that. It could be a really positive emotion. It could be a negative emotion. You could have conflicting feelings about something. If you can't get to the bottom of it, maybe do some journaling or talk to some friends and family. I did that a little bit with my sister, and she always had a different perspective that I hadn't thought about. And also some memories about a particular item. So it was really useful to have those conversations, and they sort of helped me to work through some of those emotions and work out whether I really wanted to hang on to the item. Once you do understand that connection that you have to that particular piece, it's important to acknowledge and honor the feeling. And in doing that, you might feel ready to then just let the item go, or you might decide to keep it. There's no right or wrong with this kind of stuff. It's just about being really mindful about how you declutter items that do elicit that really strong reaction. It's okay to change your mind. That happened to me a few times. I feel like I always came to the right decision, but it was a process with some of these things. My Renoir painting was something that I really decided early on that I wanted to declutter when I came to this place. But every time I went to let it go, I just couldn't do it. I really had to get to the bottom of that. So I just tucked it behind my piano for a couple of months. And when I took it out, I realized why. I got that when I was really young. It was a gift from family. At that time in my life, I was really into everything that was old world and vintage. And when I was given this print, I really felt seen. I felt like, yeah, they're really getting where I'm at and giving me something that I absolutely love. So I think that's why it was hard for me to let it go. Now, I'm not saying that I will never let it go, but right now it feels good to keep it. And I've actually hung it next to the piano in my dining area, and I'm really enjoying it again. So we'll see what the future holds for that. But it was good to listen to that niggling doubt that I had about decluttering it and get to the bottom of why I couldn't let it go. If you feel like you can't let it go, but you don't have room for it in your place, I would put it away in storage. If you have a storage area, ask a family member or a friend to hold it for you for 6 months. If you didn't miss it for 6 months, it's probably safe to let it go. My next tip, if you're really struggling to declutter an item, is to just keep it. If you can physically fit it into your home and you can't let it go, why would you force yourself to declutter that thing? There's absolutely nothing wrong with hanging on to our old things. They are part of our lives, part of our history, part of our memories. If it doesn't fit into the room you intended to go in, perhaps you can repurpose it and put it in a different room. Some of the items that I couldn't fit inside my apartment, I ended up putting on the balcony, and that includes a couple of bookshelves and even a painting. So there may be a way for you to repurpose an item that you can't fit where you hoped it would go. Remind yourself while you're going through this process that if you want new things to come into your life, you probably need to let go of some of the old things. Sometimes we can get so focused on the loss that we feel from decluttering that we forget that we're also gaining from the process. I think it's really important to be honest with yourself. You know, it's okay to let go of things that you once loved. We are changing constantly throughout our lives with our needs, our wants, our preferences, and you might be entering a new phase of life and feel like it would be liberating to let some of the old things that were weighing you down go and welcome a new lifestyle. It might bring fresh inspiration, motivation, and energy into your life to let some of your old things go. If you are going through your own decluttering process, I hope that you found all of those tips helpful. And please let me know in the comments if there are any tips that I haven't covered that have helped you to make those tough decisions. I have an update on my grass tree. I came out onto the balcony this morning after giving it lots of water yesterday, and the flower spike has come back up to its full height. I think this plant must definitely be a boy. If you have a suggestion for names that I could give him, please share those in the comments, and I'll let you know how this spike progresses because I think it's actually going to get even taller. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help my channel. And if you're new to Tea with Lilibet, I would love to welcome you as a subscriber. So thanks for watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Take care, and bye for now.